this entire situation is, and we're losing right there sight behind the building for just a bit. I mean, my goodness.
What a weird, I mean, yeah, just weaving in and out of traffic, swerving into oncoming lanes. Thankfully, we haven't seen a lot of that busy traffic that we were seeing earlier, but he's slowing down, speeding up again. So if you're just now joining us, this person is wanted for an assault on an officer, so they're going to take this very, very seriously.
I swear it's been like...
They're also going to treat this like they do not want to escalate it anymore.
The past 2 months, I think there's been
do something that could
a pursuit like every single day.
We've seen as he
sometimes even like 2 or 3
out there into this intersection and just makes that run for it again as those officers ride on his tail.
Yeah, and counting at least 4 officers directly behind. And yeah, when the factors start to involve you know, the safety of others and traffic and everything else, you're sort of veering on our visual here just a bit. Give us a second. But yeah, still right there, very slow all of a sudden.
Like right here,
so this is
I don't understand why they don't
we were first
just
starting.
like
and there you go again. He's reversing.
Go around him.
Right back. Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
Right into the front of that LAPD cruiser.
Just letting,
pushes
like, that was a perfect chance right there
all the rest of
for one of the other 2 cops on the sides to get in front of him.
So
what is he doing?
And cut him off.
Why is that the, you know, and
at those speeds, what are you even like trying to like
weird
preserve, you know, damage to the car? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
But yeah, second time
Look,
now that
and you know he's already doing this,
right
and you guys just back up.
And now you have patrol cars.
What, you telling me you can't drive around him while he's reversing?
So I mean, oh my god, and just look at the reflection.
You know, or at least go like too.
That pickup truck is
go too wide.
If you can't see how many LAPD cars are directly behind
and when he's reversing, you know, he's not gonna be able to shift gears and get him to drive quick enough.
You know, normally you get the questions of why not use a spike strip.
But cops are just scared, man.
It's just
they don't know what
the dynamics of this particular.
And look, now there's a lot of cars on the sides. You can't even do that. But that was like perfect chance for them.
To the side, of course, these people are all in harm's way right now, as this person is so unpredictable.
There were no cars on either side of the street.
You wonder why, you know, cops aren't getting out and doing more, and that's because they just simply do not know.
There's a fourth time right here.
What this driver is capable of. What an
look at that guy on the left.
And also on
that guy could have totally got in front of him.
Now he's reversed.
Totally got in front of him.
Oh, there you go. Reverse lights coming back on. Trying it again.
Look, both of these guys could have got in front of him right there.
Like the logistics of
this.
This is a narrow street, right? Especially when you consider the number of LAPD vehicles in pursuit as well. The number of cars parked.
This is why there's always
there's one right there, like you pointed out.
There's always like a pursuit every night.
There's traffic here too. Like it's not as easy as just sort of surrounding a particular.
They just love having their way with
throwing something in
them.
front of
Now,
but
because you didn't stop the pursuit when you could have.
Third wave of kind of stopping.
Now you're endangering the public again.
Some sort of time after a sort of reverse ram into these LAPD vehicles.
I don't know, Gio. I mean, does it even appear that this guy has a good idea of how to even, you know, drive this? It just feels like every time we see him kind of start speeding up or turning, he's losing
taking red lights now when you had him in like,
you know, right there. I don't know if
industrial
that's
street
or if that's something that, you know, he's
ready to be had
to do, but it does just feel like a very erratic and very unpredictable approach here to the way that he's driving.
And it's getting a little difficult now to see just based on where he turned off into right now, because this looks like a truck yard at least a bit here. There you see a bus as well. Yeah, right. And now you're in this area where it's really you just see the lights of the patrol vehicles, and it almost looks like that might be a.
It looks like almost a marquee sign of some sort that's displaying something, but certainly you can kind of tell what he's doing based on these officers. Like if we start to see them backing up, we can guess that he's now reversing and doing that MO that we've seen him do a couple of times. But
I think we just saw it take off on the far
like
right
the first
side
time
of your screen
that the guy reverses and rams once again. The cops, okay, I give him that. They weren't expecting it because that usually doesn't happen.
But I was going to bring up right before.
But when the guy's done it like 5 or 6 times, you have to like be prepared and have a plan already.
Trapped himself in
back area.
Be able to end the
you
pursuit.
Gotta wonder about that.
Oh no!
Now this guy's got a tail of like, I swear, I kid you not. He's got like 15, 16 cars behind him.
I was gonna say
like
that
ducks
it
in a
just
row.
kind of makes everything more chaotic, considering how often you kind of get caught in these situations where you.
I mean, these are cop cars. They're government vehicles. You know, like what are you trying to like?
You got to handle these carefully, and especially when
the vehicle for.
Like
he's ramming you anyway.
Behaving carefully or worried. But I was also going to say that the kind of maneuvering around the same exact area.
You're right.
We haven't really like moved
no intent to
any,
get on the freeway. No intent
to
get out of this area of Southeast Los Angeles. As again, we deal with some technical difficulties. SkyCal, though, up above that police chase as we see a number of those cars, LAPD very, very close behind this individual.
Look,
who
there's no traffic there. There's no cops. I mean, there's no cars. Look, at least this guy's trying to make a move.
So far about the details of what's led
but then he's
going
to chicken out. He's going to bitch out right there.
If you're just now joining us, we've seen this guy stop in the middle of a street, stop in the middle of an alleyway, back up. We saw him hit a median. We saw him plow through as he takes another dangerous left-hand turn there. We saw him plow through railroad tracks. Those tires, I mean, you got to wonder how his equipment is holding up in terms of being able to.
I don't know what they're telling these cops.
That, along with the shifting the truck in reverse in order to ram into the...
But it seems like they're getting worse and worse every time.
Into LAPD vehicles are the most shocking moments so far of what we're seeing, on top of just driving over train tracks. It just highlights the blatant disregard. Now it looks like one of the taillights might actually be busted.
I was about to say, yeah, you wonder if that's from reversing into one of those patrol cars. Now he's damaging his own vehicle, which is going to set him up to obviously, become more desperate. But it appears, I mean, look how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 patrol cars.
Oh, there's more than 5. There's more than 5.
Turn into oncoming traffic.
And it's worth highlighting right now because we're just getting confirmation that we are nearing up to LAX airspace. So, and now it seems to be moving back toward our direction.
Look, now
the camera's direction. So maybe we'll be able to maintain our view. Well, obviously, we'll still hover over top and just kind of keep it at a distance. But just in case we ever have to break out,
we're going to come to cars right now.
That's because we are getting close to LAX airspace. So if they do get into that direction, we won't be able to fly SkyCal over that. So showing you video from earlier now on the right side of your screen. This is when the pickup truck was on East 57th and Bandera. And I believe this is probably one of those moments where he just kind of reverses. Yep, you see the reverse lights.
But
and then
where are the cars? There's no other cars there.
Yeah.
And really highlighted just how crazy of a situation we're watching.
I mean, this
and
is
they even open the door like if
the
pursuit's over.
How reckless this car is, this individual is. He's already wanted for assaulting an officer, and every time you see him do one of those maneuvers where he backs up into those patrol cars, that is another, offense that that's gonna go against him if and when
this guy doesn't care about what
because that is another example of assault on an officer.
At the end of the day, it's probably gonna be like just a joyride.
Using a car
charge.
It's only gonna get him into more trouble, but it's obvious that right now that is not what he's concerned about. He has been even slowly at times, picking up speed at times, very erratic and very dangerous. So we are again in Southeast Los Angeles right now as we watch this police chase go through the streets of these, surface level streets. As Gio and I were mentioning earlier, he has not tried to get, or they have not tried to get on the freeway, but they have blown through stop signs, stop lights, intersections, driving on the wrong side of the, lanes. This is a guy that they are definitely going to want to figure out, what is going on here and how they can safely bring this to a close.
And right now, we do want to welcome in retired LAPD pilot Dave
Sometimes
Avila
you just wish that car would have just hit him.
I want to check in before we start asking you questions.
Yeah, no problem at all. Gio Hunter, good talking to you. Just a shame it's going to be after one of these type of pursuits. We've had so much stuff here going on lately regarding officers.
Well, we certainly appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time this evening. First thing I was going to throw to you is how often do you see pursuit suspects sort of treat their car kind of like a battering ram? I think that was the craziest thing that we noticed here so far.
Actually, that does not happen very often. This is probably like the second time I've ever seen that. And one was with like a big rig. And this one being a pickup. Looks like an F-150 or something like that. But I mean, obviously, when you got little sports cars, you're probably not going to do that.
This suspect throwing the car into reverse and then ramming directly into an LAPD cruiser.
Yeah, he's thinking that if he backs up into him, he's going to just cause their airbags to deploy and they won't be able to pursue him any longer. No doubt.
That's not what I was expecting. I just don't think the impact is hard enough for that to happen. And then you'd have to it'd be like 1 down, 13 more to go and stuff. But I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense a little bit. But you probably have to back it up a good 10 miles per hour.
Especially with that pickup truck. But numerous counts of ADW on a police officer utilizing a motor vehicle. This is a multi felony type suspect. So they will stay with them. We don't know what type of suspect he is as far as weapons involved, anything like that. However, I mean, it's you could see by the nature of his response and his pursuit tactics backing up into officers.
Come on, man.
He has no intention of stopping.
No intention of
so
stopping,
it's
and
kinda
no
Go
regard.
ahead,
Excuse
go
me.
ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. No regard for these
No, go
officers' safety as well, but obviously the safety of the people on the roads as well. I mean, what right now is going through law enforcement officers' minds as they see a driver like this become so erratic, how they, take those steps to walk the fine line of protecting the public while also still, maintaining their follow on this guy?
And it just comes right back to all the factors that they have to be considered in any type of pursuit. Public safety is number one, officer safety, nature of the offense, number of suspects, the speed involved. I mean, here we do get some speeds that are creeping up there at 50. 50
Come on, he's
plus
going
miles per
50
hour.
something, dude. Relax.
So,
60.
Yeah,
I know it's on the
that's why
street,
they're
but
gonna go
just
ahead and
relax,
stay
dude.
with this guy here. Is because of the if he does this to a black and white with law enforcement officers inside of it, you can imagine he doesn't care who's in front of him or what he has to do to maintain his freedom. So that's where the public safety comes into effect.
Well, one of the other things we've noticed, Dave, is that at least through the course of when we've been keeping our eye on this pursuit, and here,
Like at this point, this guy's not gonna get away. His only option to be able to get away would be to get close to the airport, because at least right there, the helicopter has to ask for permission. And then without the helicopter, the eye in the sky, then we can talk about maybe losing him and then bailing and somehow hide away somewhere. But if he doesn't go to LAX, this guy's not going to get away. It's impossible.
as we come up on
Wow.
traffic, it's just sort of the dangerous thing. And I know you're on a delay, so you'll see it in a second. But the fact that this suspect has been on surface streets the entire time, does that play into, is that helpful for officers right now? Because you've mentioned many times before when we've called you that that no attempt to get on a freeway would indicate that they're at least familiar with the area and they're looking for a way out, but we know that more often than not doesn't end up actually happening.
Why you should never cover your credit card with tin foil. I've worked at a major
Really?
bank for 14 years. Just yesterday, I saw
Yeah, exactly. They're familiar, and like you said, obviously he's familiar with the area. He hasn't hit a dead end, which is extremely capable of doing here because it's an industrial type area, very familiar with it. So you're going through neighborhoods, industrial area. So he's obviously sticking around the area that he's familiar with.
Eventually,
and
he's got to
what
go to
his plan,
LAX.
and we have no idea.
If he does not go to LAX, there's no way in a pickup truck that he's going to be able to get away because the helicopter's going to see him. So he's got to head to LAX. There's no other way.
Especially with the speed, which I'm glad he's not hazard floor like we've seen before, 60, 70, 80 miles per hour through neighborhood streets. But he does pick it up every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
the desperation is there.
Definitely, as we watch him kind of creep into the 50s there on another surface street where, people are walking their dogs, they could be trying to cross the street, those intersections, red lights, all of the things that could potentially put people in danger. I'm curious, how does...
Let's not forget, these cops had a chance to cut him off when he was ramming them. They had like 6 or 7 chances to get in front of him when he was reversing. And they didn't do it. So whatever happens now is on them. No balls.
How does this truck play into as we see him get to a very busy intersection? It'll be interesting to see. Just going to go right on through it, stopping that car there. But this truck cannot be easy to maneuver. Obviously, we're not seeing one of these very small cars or fast cars that maybe we typically see in a pursuit that gives police a challenge. But how difficult is it to maneuver a truck through streets like this? And is that kind of working to their advantage?
Yeah, it could be because this is a little bit heavier. It's not a dually truck, but it's a heavy pickup, heavy duty type. But I don't think that's such a factor as far as maneuvering through these streets. But one thing I have noticed during his pursuit is that he did have some TC damage, some collision damage to his right rear, as you could see there. Now it looks like and the reason I mentioned that is because it looks like it's getting pretty close. The wheel well's getting pretty close to the tire. So if anything, hopefully it would just start hitting that tire and kind of stop it. Because I mean, as far as a pit maneuver, that may not happen because of the situation. Yeah, I'm still waiting to try to find out exactly.
I don't know what situation he was trying to pull out of his ass there, but I will say one thing. That damage does look like it might lead to like a flat tire happening. But I don't know what he was trying to come up with as an excuse or a reason for them not pit maneuvering this guy. Because, to be honest with you, that's like a pretty long bed it's got. It's not really proportioned very well. It should be able to tail fin it real easy.
Exactly what type of suspect this is, because he's doing way more than the average.
Yeah. We had heard initially, assault on a police officer. So obviously that elevates this to a situation that, would put him as somebody that they are not wanting to provoke in a way that would put the public in danger, as you mentioned earlier, that being the number one concern here. But yeah, I mean, it just very erratic driving. I mean,
did you see
hit that patrol car there as it made that right hand.
Because of the situation. Yeah, I'm still waiting to try to find.
This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. They had the guy caught. They had him blocked off. And they moved the car to avoid getting hit by him. And it's not like the truck was going fast or anything. The truck was making a right turn at maybe like 10 miles an hour at max.
Find out exactly what type of suspect this is, because he's doing way more than the average.
Yeah. We had heard initially, assault on a
Here it
police
comes.
officer. So obviously that elevates this to a situation that, would put him as somebody that they are not wanting to provoke in a way that would put the public in danger, as you mentioned earlier.
Okay. You see at that intersection where he's going to make a right. There's already a cop there blocking it off. And he's going to move out of the way. Like a bitch.
That being the number one concern here. But yeah.
Look at him. Instead of like backing up a little bit to end this. And sure, maybe he hits that other car. But I mean, I don't think that would have happened.
I mean, it just
Look at him.
very
He goes forward, dude.
driving. I
He
mean,
gets
nearly
out of
hit
the
that,
way. He's like, "Oh, excuse me,
patrol
sir."
there as it made that right-hand turn. I mean, what's going through your head
No
right now?
fucking
The
balls.
decisions that are being made to make sure that they bring this to an end, but they do so safely.
Exactly what they're doing. They're just staying right on top of the black and whites, right on them, the lights and siren, the nights under the helicopter on top of it. It's a good warning sign. It's just like anytime we're on the street, civilians, and ourselves included, we hear a siren and we hear the
Look at him, look at
popping of blades from the helicopter.
He's
We're gonna
already
start
passed through
looking
the street
around to
like
see
3
what's going
times.
on. Notice how, and I am on your time actually with this new system that we have.
Fantastic.
And I noticed that he just turned his headlights off, kind of swerved there right now. So a little bit of a change here. All of a sudden the lights go off. So maybe he's trying to think of a way to get out and take off on foot.
Well, and Dave, to your point earlier, when we were getting a look at that right rear damage, it was rather notable once we zoomed in on it a bit. But it sounds like the game plan you're sort of describing right.
I think he turned off his lights to see like if like the helicopter lights were on him. Because I guess when you have your lights on, it's kind of hard to see if it's your lights they're flashing the ground or if it's the helicopter.
Right now, is if needed, you wait him out because you're not seeing a lot of patrol vehicles get up directly behind him. They're kind of letting him go in and around all of these alleys, make these turns, and just kind of, like you said, maintain a presence while also making sure that people know something is going on. So that way, we're not seeing a lot of close calls that sometimes we would be seeing on surface streets as a car is kind of barreling through a neighborhood.
I'm struggling with missing teeth, and that's why I'm here. Yeah, I wouldn't have done anything like this. I would.
Yeah, exactly, Gio. So I think that's what they're planning on right now. I kind of missed that. We missed it. It looked like they may have tried something there, but we lost visual.
Look, he's gonna back up right now.
Let's see what happens here. There's earlier. Okay, he's
This is where
slowing down.
that cop behind him. He should go around him right now.
Is he gonna come back at the officers? Which it
Right.
looks like he did.
It looked like
Yeah,
he
it almost
did,
looked like it did
yeah.
for a bit. Yeah.
We apologize. We're having a little bit of those technical
Like, you should be-
difficulties kind of stopping and playing the images there, but it did look like he at least.
You should be expecting him. Once he starts slowing down, you should be expecting him to do that. And as soon as you see him hit it in reverse, because you'll see the lights on the rear lights, the reverse lights, you'll see them turn on. That's when you zoom past them, get in front of them, and that's it.
Police came to some sort of a stop and got very close to that patrol car.
Yeah, it looked like he did back up into him. So there's another felony on him. Numerous felonies on this suspect. So it looks like we're locked up right now with the camera. But
Well, I think, Dave, as we try to reset our visual, it also looked and sounds like it highlights your point of desperation.
Can't even keep
which
the
is,
cameras
you
working,
keep
man.
backing up and reversing into patrol cars. You cause even more damage as we kind of reset here and establish it again. It's a short-term ploy as opposed to any sort of long-term game because now it looks like there's a.
Sort of a, yeah.
No, it's water. I thought for a second it might have been
There
smoke.
were no
because
cars in that street.
You're just causing more damage to your own vehicle, and
Eventually,
They
it
could've
becomes
stopped him right there.
undrivable.
it's gonna accelerate to a point where it's just gonna stop.
Yeah.
yeah, he's just going to. And we have no idea how much fuel he has in that thing because those things suck up fuel pretty fast. But this is the worst type of vehicle as far as backing up into because it's such a heavy duty type of pickup truck. It's not your normal one. This is one of those heavy duty ones. So, as far as I can
It's like
see
an F-150,
right now,
maybe
from
F-250.
experience, they're just going to stay right on top of it. They're not going to let him go. As far as the pit maneuver, it doesn't look like they really had an offer to do it. As far as spike strip, he's in and out of traffic.
There's too many cars around for spike
He's making
strips.
so
But
many
pin maneuver,
different
they've had plenty of
turns.
chances.
It looks like he's actually leaving the area that he was in. Remember we were talking about how he was sticking to the area?
Look,
But it
in that
looks
street,
like
there was a
he's
cop
on,
car right in front of him. Where's it now?
55th
Look at him. It's ahead of him.
Avenue, Morgan.
They could block the street
So
off right
maybe that's
there.
a county area now.
Okay.
And he just-
so seeing him
he's
kind of
leading
get out of
the
the
truck.
pattern that we've been seeing because certainly it has become almost
Yes.
a pattern here.
Like, who's
of,
chasing who
where
here?
he was going, the turns he was making, and the risks he's been taking as he blows through intersections and stop signs. But I mean, this is kind of one of those worst case scenarios. If
Someone has to just
somebody's
take
in
the
wrong
hit,
place at
man.
the wrong time, happens to be crossing the street.
be all right.
Steps right
You
in
get
front
paid
of
good
his
money.
vehicle,
Especially at
or
night.
at night as well. As again, we watch him kind of hold our breath as he goes through another intersection. And those patrol vehicles that are following so closely behind also have to be aware of all of those risks. So there's a lot right now that they're weighing as they continue to just follow this guy and maybe hope that he, either gives up or makes a run for it.
And Dave, I have a quick question for you too, as well, because I'm curious in terms of the many frequent stops and goes here. Is there any change or even thought of change in the game plan when he slows down to such a degree where maybe you could? Does a pit maneuver even work when he's fully stopped, or maybe when he kind of stops like this? Does anything change, or is it still like, all right, let's kind of wait and maintain and see what happens next?
Yeah, it kind of like, well, it's going to stay behind him. The pit maneuver, no, because you need some speed.
Yeah, you're not going to pit maneuver him. But you can totally overtake him and then block him off.
Around 30 miles per hour, even though we have seen him faster.
Oh, there he
But,
goes.
Right there you
again,
can't,
back
because there's too many
around
cars in
Here
the
he
way.
comes again.
I mean, we've lost count, 6, 7?
At least, yeah.
That
Yeah.
he's done that. So you say he's trying to deploy the airbags so that those responding officers can at least get him off their
Yeah.
tail for a minute?
Yeah, that's one technique that they tried, but that's not going to happen here, obviously, because the black and whites are going to stay right on top of him, and it's not going to deploy the bags. Uh, so this is one thing that they always prepared for. You know, you think it's not going to happen, but in these pursuits, like I said before, fast, slow, one like this, I mean, they're all dangerous, but this one here is more towards the officers.
It does appear that way, that he is just not, this person is not really concerned
No.
about the safety of anyone. I mean, even maybe their own, but right now we're seeing, of course, what is just a bizarre, I mean,
It's crawling.
yeah,
at,
I mean,
at
he's
this
moving,
point.
but
Yeah.
not by much, and they're not giving him very much space. What right now, are they going to just let this guy kind of give up? They're obviously not going to want to, well,
And there he goes,
again.
yeah.
Just unpredictable
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, totally unpredictable. And he doesn't really know. I don't think, well, obviously he has no idea what he's going to do. I mean, usually we see some type of maneuver where they stick to the streets, they get on the freeways. This guy here is just sticking to the city streets.
And no
And-
attempt really to either jump out too, because
Not
normally
yet.
in some of these situations, right? Not yet. We want to be clear; it
Yeah.
could still very much happen. But you know, you
Well, you don't
try
know
and
if this
find-
guy's really much of
these
a
folks try to
runner.
Find like a back alley or a neighborhood,
some
a place
fat guy,
with a
who
lot of
knows?
Overpass.
backyards
Yeah.
and places that they can kind of jump in and out of, and not even seeing that right now, which goes back.
And with that many
speaks
cops,
to
it's
the
like, nah,
highly
I'd rather just
unpredictable
stay in
nature of
my
what we're
truck.
seeing right now.
And we don't know if he's armed. You know, again,
Right.
like we want to.
There hasn't really been a
that
good
these
opportunity for him to
officers
get
don't have
away.
be
He's got to go to
prepared
LAX for
anything.
sure. But it doesn't look like he's going to do
yeah,
that.
I mean, any type of high risk stop with this, it's going to end up being, yeah, that's one thing you have to consider. You know, you're going to be prepared. I hate to repeat myself over and over again, but you're always prepared for the worst. You're hoping it's not. You're hoping the guy will give up. But this guy here, I mean, slamming into black and whites. Here we go. Okay, I think we're going to be trying to.
Oh.
No.
Wow,
There was an attempt
that's
right
the
there.
attempt. That's when
Not
they decided to
quite
try
done
it.
enough,
Man, these guys are probably
speed up
getting
in
very
there to get
impatient.
him. But yeah,
because that was
they're gonna
not
try
a.
and pit him now.
Is
That was not the time to
unusual
try
if you
it.
can do that on a street where you've got other vehicles around? I mean, doing it on as I mean,
After all the
road, or is
chances
that
they've had,
something
that's
they'll
the one
do
that
if
they
they
choose to
really feel
take?
like this
I
guy is
can't
going
believe
to
it.
Be putting people in danger the more they keep going.
Yeah, that could be it. I thought they felt that there was enough room there where they could go ahead and spit them out, and then have the other black and whites come up behind them and lock them in. So at that point, they thought there was enough time, and that speed was just
Now
right.
he's
Everything
fucking
was just
zooming.
Right,
Yeah.
but now
Since they
here's
try
what
to pit him,
happens is that this
now
guy
he's
here's up
zooming.
in the 70s.
So it
Yeah,
almost
this is about
provoked him.
as
Look at him.
fast as
He
we've
is
seen
zooming.
Yeah.
this suspect go since we broke in. More than I want to say about 20, 30 minutes ago
Yeah.
or so. It's just been such an up and down
Yeah.
type of pursuit. So it is worth just sort of catching
This
up a
guy's
little
desperate
bit
now.
as we kind of reset every 5 to 10 minutes. Or
He might
so
even
that
take the freeway
this
now.
is in Southeast LA as of right now. We know that the suspect is wanted for assault on an officer and has repeatedly used this pickup truck as a sort of reverse battering ram
Yeah.
into a number of cruisers. Once again, we don't know if the suspect is armed. We don't even know if it's just one person in the vehicle or if it's more. So we're going to gather more details for you, but obviously we'll continue to monitor the situation. We also have Dave Avila on the phone with us as well. And, you know,
It's a two-lane street, too.
It's already been dangerous even on the
Yeah.
low speeds, and
Yeah.
now it just heightens with how fast this person's going now.
Dave, does it kind of feel like his behavior has changed ever since they tried to do that maneuver to kind of get him
Obviously.
to spin him out? Does it feel like he got a little more aggressive, especially with these speeds?
Turns out you should never sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident. There's a much better way you could get paid a way bigger.
Yeah, I think he finally realized that they're not playing around now. They're not going to follow him forever, that they're actually going to take some action. So all of a sudden now his
About
adrenaline
damn
starts
time.
pumping, and he starts, he's trying to, get away from them now. And even though he just gone on the street, so it always comes down to, the risk versus reward on this thing. We're going to risk continuing the pursuit. The question is he a threat to the public? Yeah, absolutely he is. So we're going to continue the pursuit, and we're going to continue to go after him. Then the watch commander is watching this, and they'll decide. They'll call some shots.
Oh, he looks like something's coming out of the back.
Yeah, the
Is that the
smoke.
tire that
yeah.
you were talking about earlier, potentially,
Something's
hitting
rubbing
the
with the
rim?
tire.
Well,
Yeah, I hope so, because it looks like we got some smoke out there. I mean, that'll help. Now, it'd be better if it was the front tires because then it would mess up his maneuverability as far as controlling that thing. But these tires are big tires, so yeah. He
Man,
may
dude
be,
looks like he's got a donut on.
turning that tire off. We hopefully so.
Yeah, we're seeing the damage is more clear than ever on the
It is.
right rear there, and
Yeah,
that's
those are
probably
not
from
big
the
tires,
repeated
man. You're out of your
attempts
mind.
At ramming into police cruisers. There's also been some stuff in the
Look at this.
in the bed of that.
Maybe it's
pickup
not a
truck as
donut, but
well.
they're
It's
like
kind
some
of been
stock
moving
ass
around throughout
tires.
the night, but that's
This
just
was-
a note. And still trying to
this was
see
whack,
as we
man.
get behind buildings here for a second if we can make out if it's just the driver, if there's
Anybody
someone
else
else
is
in
in
the
there. I
passenger
can't
seat. It
tell.
can't really tell. I know it almost
mean-
looked like the window was.
He drove through again.
Down.
For those just now joining us, we watched him just drive right over these railroad tracks.
Ooh,
and there
losing
he
that
goes.
maneuverability.
Look, oh,
About to
Yeah.
lose
they had a
his-
shot there, man.
You know what?
They had
I
a
think
shot.
that last pit maneuver did some damage to. The
Oh,
left
they're trying
rear
to credit
because
the
you
pit
notice
maneuver.
it's not
Oh my
steady
God.
Anymore. He's
Right.
not. When he made like that corner, it wasn't at a high rate. I mean, but he just started to spin out. So I think there is some damage to that left rear, which is going to affect his speed and his maneuverability.
It would
So
also
they may be able to get another pit maneuver on
it
him.
would also make a lot of sense because of all that smoke we just saw a couple minutes ago
Yeah.
Yes.
as he was driving a straightaway
Yes.
there, and that was the first turn really that we saw attempted, and it just didn't go all that well. So, and on top
Right.
of all that, like you said, Dave, earlier, that this is a vehicle that's already a little bit more difficult to maneuver just because it's so heavy. So now
Right.
with,
Yeah.
with damage, it's going to make it even worse.
Is he going to go for it?
There we
Let's
go.
see.
I think we're going to do it again here.
He didn't do it?
Not quite.
He didn't do it.
But we're working on it.
Yeah.
No
it looks
cars
like
in
he's
sight, and
losing
he didn't do
control
it.
even without them. But it may just be the way that the
No balls, man.
tires are moving as they take those turns with that big truck. I mean, yeah, heavy but light in the back. If you've ever driven a pickup truck, easy to fishtail. So that's
Yes.
certainly what.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
there it
there he
is.
goes.
Finally, some balls, dude. Really. I mean, it
Yeah,
didn't work out,
it's
but
so
hey,
heavy, it just won't spin that.
I got to
was
credit
gonna
him for
say,
the
Yeah,
effort.
it sounds like physics is really having to play a role here because the initial speed or standard so to
Props for
speak,
trying.
of a pit maneuver might not be the same and might actually need even more force to be able to knock it off its axis there, Dave.
Right. Yeah. You can see the desperation. Now he was going on the wrong side of the road,
Yeah.
cut up between some cars. Okay, here we go. Come on, guys. We can get
Yes,
this one here.
There you
yes,
go.
thank you.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
get the, okay, we're seeing
Was
the
it that
black
hard?
and whites. There we
Was
go.
that
Now,
that
this
damn
is
hard?
Here we
No, it
go.
was not.
This is Texas.
This could have been done
This
20
is
minutes
actually-
ago.
Wow,
I, was
yeah.
gonna say, I love watching this. As far as being a retired cop, this is just so great right now. I mean, this is what the pit maneuver was meant to do, and they're doing it right now. Outstanding job, guys and gals.
Fantastic. Now we'll wait and see what he
Outstanding
does as sort of
and-
standoff ensues because it does not appear
not
that
the
door is
entire
opening.
job, man.
Can you see anybody in the
No,
There were a
passenger?
lot
I
of-
was trying to make
lot of
out
missed
there to see
opportunities
if there
there.
was.
Here
It
we
didn't
go.
look
He's
like it,
coming
but
out.
there you go. There's the suspect getting out of the driver's side.
Look at this guy.
And just surrounded
There's
on
a
all
guy-
fronts. I mean, like Dave, like you said, everything has been executed.
There's a guy like
fair to say
in a
to
fucking dirt bike.
perfection from that moment that pit maneuver
Trying to,
was
like,
executed.
whip out his phone and
Absolutely. Because the
record
unit
this.
that executes a pit maneuver, his job isn't to stick or.
If I saw right, if I saw correctly.
They're doing it right now. Outstanding job, guys. Going on the wrong side of the road,
Yeah.
cut up between some cars. Okay, here we go. Come on, guys. We can get it. This one here.
And there you go.
Okay, let's get the. Okay, we're seeing
Look,
the
look, look.
black and whites. There we go. Now, this
All
is
right,
kind of
here we
text.
go.
This is textbook. This is actually. I
Wow,
was gonna
yeah.
say, I love watching this. As far as being a retired cop, this is just so great right now. I mean, this is what the pit maneuver was meant to do, and they're doing it right now. Outstanding job, guys and gals.
Fantastic. Now we'll wait and see what he does as sort of standoff ensues because it does not appear that door is opening. Can you see anybody in the
No,
passenger?
I was trying to make
was
out
up
there
top
to see
there.
if there
Oh,
was.
here we
It
go.
didn't look
I
like
think the
it,
cops
but there
pushed
you
him
go.
away.
There's the suspect getting out of the driver's side and just surrounded on all fronts. I mean, like Dave, like you said, everything has been executed. I mean, fair to say to perfection from that moment that pit maneuver is executed.
Absolutely. Because the unit that executes a pit maneuver, his job isn't to stick or their job is not to stick around. It's to hit them and then get out of harm's way. Let the black and whites in the back, so all the ones that are following him, do exactly what they're doing right now.
And we can see he's appearing to talk to, he's got his hands at least out and moving around almost like he's talking, but is he, holding anything? Of course, that's what they're looking for to see if there's something in his hand. But it
Oh,
appears.
absolutely. Yeah,
It
yeah.
appears maybe
the end
not,
of the road,
but,
buddy.
Yeah, walking out slowly now.
Hope you like your
Let's
sandwiches.
see. It looks like it's making, like the person's making their way ever
Yeah.
ever
Can
so
you see-
slowly. The vantage
move.
point is a little covered right now
Right.
just because of the front end of this building, but Sky Cow is slowly making its way around. So we'll be able to get a clear shot here. But yeah, listening, it looks like 2 officers.
Well, looks like it's just gonna
commands.
end.
At least you would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, right now, of
Okay,
course,
well.
you hold your breath.
I mean, at least they caught this guy. Because a lot of the times they don't catch him. Pretty pathetic pursuits we got in Los Angeles, but this one, they got this one, so. I'm pretty sure I'll be.
Guys, if you're feeling the effects,
Pretty sure I'll be uploading something different tomorrow. Because, like I said, in LA, there's a pursuit every night, sometimes even 2 or 3, sometimes even in the day. And I live in East LA, so it's always happening over here. So, thanks for watching if you stuck around. See you in the next one.